Review.com. It's Serie A. Hope you all had a great weekend. It was a bit up and down. I know there was a couple of bankers went in, but there was a couple of short ones and reliable ones that actually let us down. Now, if you like this video, then please subscribe, press the button, ring the bell. You ring the bell means we can notify you and you'll never miss any content again. And also give the thumbs up. Thumbs up is obviously for Tan and for Alex, and we'll be joining them in a second. We'll also press the link in the description. That'll take you to all of our football articles wrote by Alex or Dave or Martin, and there's plenty other sports over there as well. And remember to shop around for your value, because I mean a lot of people in America with all these different books opening up, they're not giving us the true value. Now, Tan, Alex, how are you, gentlemen? I hope you had a good weekend. Tancredi, I'll come to you first.
It's so hot here. I don't know where you are talking to me. I don't know where the people are, but it's so hot. And I have to say, I don't know if it is making hotter or it is actually refreshing. The fact that goals are never stopping in Italy. Just imagine, just go figure that. Since Serie A was back, so it was 20th of June, there have been played 4 full rounds and 1 half round. There hasn't been a single nil. The average of 32 goals scored so far in every round. In the last one, there were 34 goals. That is whispering something particular in the ears of everybody when it is about betting. But all in all, extremely entertaining. Every game, every team that is going careless looking for the win.
Yeah, there was a few painful ones. I mean, Atalanta, I've got Inter on my brain as well because them letting 2 late goals in killed us, but Atalanta winning at 1-0. Now, just so that you know, if I wince, it's because I pulled my back yesterday. First time in the pool for 4 months, and I was like Michael Phelps. The old butterfly came out. I was showing off. Now I feel like Michael Douglas. Alex, banker came in for you. You're keeping your head above water.
Yeah, banker plus another banker, Juventus minus 1.5 on the Asian handicap from the show again. And for you is pool 1, flash 0. So you have to regroup yourself for the next weekend because you might want to do a draw at halftime with the pool. So be careful with that back because you're not 20 years old anymore. Yeah, you know, you're like 45. I don't know.
Yeah, listen. Some would say that at some stages I'm like a 25-year-old, but I tell you what, in the evenings I'm like 55. Also, listen, I got away with murder at the weekend because obviously I was very strong on Napoli, and Napoli was the last one. It's always nice when the last one comes in. Now, I fancy there's some tough games this week, Tancredi. We're going to start off straight into the business end. Oh, and just before we start, remember, you're our third guest. We are live. You're our third guest. So make sure you put everything in the chat, whether it's good, it's bad, it's indifferent. I see James Hines in there. You must have woke up on the wrong side of the bed, James. We had like 8, 9, 10 team parlay last week. Bit of a dodgy week this week, and you love a moan. So we're going to get stuck right in, and also to let you know, we're going to do a 6-match parlay. 2 from La Liga. We're doing 2 from Serie A, and we're going to do 2 from the Premier League. And we'll put them together and see how we get on. Now we're going to start off with Lecce at plus 1050, the draw plus 460, and Lazio at minus 300. Lazio, I had them to win against Milan, but I also had both teams to score no because I thought Lazio would keep a clean sheet. How lucky was I, Tan?
Yeah, you weren't that lucky. Maybe you can hear in the background bells ringing. I don't know if it's for the goals that are coming or not. I expected Lazio to struggle against Milan. I thought a draw would come out in the end, but I expected them to struggle. If I'm not mistaken, I had bet on a draw at the halftime. It even went worse because Milan was actually ahead in the halftime. Now they are going back in full force with all the bells ringing in the background against Lecce. Lecce is gonna pay the bill for what happened to them in the past. They are gonna have back Immobile and Caicedo after suspension. Lecce are more than desperate. because they actually score, but they can't never punctuate, never a point so far since Serie A was back. But there is too much anger. Sorry. We are making up odds, bets, and even words here. There is too much anger by Lazio in this game. So I think Lazio to win a combo, to win half time and full time, and it's at 190, which is a decent odds for the kind of I would say mismatch there is between Lecce and Lazio. But it is like that they have Immobile and Caicedo back, and they feel like they have the Scudetto that is slipping out from their hands. I believe is pushing them to be back on the pitch extremely powerful.
Alex, the thing is with Lazio, they had a good 20 first game back. So since then, they've not performed first half at all, and Tan fancies half-time, full-time against the whipping boys, which are Lecce.
0-0 from Lazio, and not only that, now they already know that they cannot win the Scudetto because there are so many points behind Juventus right now. They now must keep that second place, who knows? Atalanta is coming from behind to take the second spot at the end of the season. We still have plenty of action until the end of the season. I don't know. Yes, who to score if not Caicedo and most of all Ciro Immobile. Let's not forget that Ciro Immobile is still a top scorer in Serie A, but let's not also forget that Cristiano Ronaldo is just 4 goals behind him. So that and Ronaldo is scoring, I don't know, for the last 4 games, one after another, and he will put all his strength and talent to finish as top scorer. Right now we have 8 rounds to go till the end of the season, and just 4 goals for Ronaldo is nothing. And yes, Dybala will miss, but we'll talk later on about that. I still think that Lecce can find the back of the net. I don't know what to say, to be honest, about the Lazio halftime, full time. I will cheer on that because we are here to make a profit. But I'm a little bit scared about that. Instead, I'm playing both teams to score at 1.73. I think that this is the only value in my eyes, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, Lazio, they've bit me too many times. I keep putting my hand in their mouth, and not once do they get the tongue. They get the teeth. Bang. Okay, let's move on. Milan at plus 280. They look decent, but I think that was more because Lazio are like garbage. Draw plus 269. And Juve, massive 105. Tan, do we not lick a gift horse in the mouth and just go Juve plus 105?
To be honest, it is tempting. Although there are a couple of things to consider. First of all, now Juventus has digged this huge advantage over Lazio and Inter. It's plus 7 over Lazio. So they might be just a little less concentrated. Second, it's the first time since Serie A is back, they are facing in the league a team from the left part of the table, the upper part. So far, they were all from the 10th position to down. Third, most important, Dybala and De Ligt are going to be missed. Now, De Ligt is going to be replaced by Rugani, who is always shaky. And if Ibrahimovic will be fit and back on pitch, it will be a problem for Rugani. But especially Dybala is the one that is making all the game for Juventus. Everything is passing through him, everything. It's still not enough for Milan to make the game. But Milan, see, against Lazio, as you said, it's not like they played greatly. It's Lazio that was rubbish. Milan always doing their game, sitting back and waiting, and just being ready to catch the chance. That's what they did against a crumbling Lazio. Lazio exploded, blew out in their mind. So I think that Milan will do the same game against Juventus. We saw in Coppa Italia, they were 1 man down after 10 minutes. Still at the halftime, they were able to hold the draw. I believe the same thing will happen again. So I would go for a draw at the halftime, which is very valuable. It's a 220. You know, it's the thing I like. Draw at halftime. Then I don't know, because, the thing with Juventus is that in the second half, they can always pull some precious replacement. Douglas Costa, Ramsey. Milan don't have anything like that. But I think at least to hold for halftime, Milan got enough.
I fancy it could be a tight game early on. I think that maybe a bit of patience. Do we have like a little bit of what's gone on with Real Madrid, Alex? Do we see that Juve may just do enough, or do we just go Juve win the game plus 105?
Not even plus 105. I found it, and you can shop around for your odds. It's a plus 120, 2.2 in European odds right now.
The drifting.
I will take it with my eyes closed because this is so huge. You can never find Juventus at plus money and that plus money at 2.2. Even with the Dybala out, with the leaked out. Also, Milan will be without Çalhanoğlu, who is in the starting 11, match in and match out. Okay, I see, but a really close match. I see Milan scoring also. Why not? I think that they are in good shape going forward right now. Ibrahimovic can do damage there in front of goal against the Juventus. But I really cannot pass this 2.2. Cristiano Ronaldo so angry and eager, let's say, to be the top scorer of Serie A right now, that he's putting all the effort. I think that I've never seen Cristiano Ronaldo till now play with such eagerness to score goals, to go, to pass, to run. I didn't till the time that since the time he came to Juventus. He's playing very good in his last couple of matches, and I think that he can make it. If Ciro Immobile is continuing shit the bed and fail to score goals, I think that Cristiano Ronaldo should be the one to watch for the top scorer of Serie A at the end of the season. And you can take him whenever you want, anytime goal scorer, because if there is a penalty for Juventus, he will score from the penalty. There is nobody who can touch the ball. And with the VAR, you saw so many penalties. I think that in the last round we saw around 5 or 6 penalties.
Yeah, I'm like, I've got everyone in the chat going Juve to win and under 3.5 and Juve to win and both to just do Juve. If you can find around listen, I said plus 105 because I write up all these graphics on the Friday night. So now they've drifted to around 120. Even if you get just the plus 105, why would we want to complicate it? If we think Juve are going to win, just do Juve to win. Now, Fiorentina plus 100, draw plus 261, Cagliari plus 300. Fiorentina are putting the front foot forward really well at the moment, Tan. I didn't fancy him at the weekend, but they did come up trumps.
It was a very strange game, Parma-Fiorentina.
Totally.
There were also some very strange odds, to be honest, because I couldn't understand why the odds on Fiorentina were lower than on Parma. Sometimes bookmakers may probably know much more than we know. This time the odds are lower on Fiorentina. But one thing is sure is that they are always shaky in defense. Cagliari probably were frustrated against Atalanta, but let's face it, they were down to 10 men after only half an hour and losing by 1 goal. Atalanta again is learning the art of being pragmatic when it needs. I don't think it will be that case now. Cagliari will go for the win, and Fiorentina is less stressed to win at any cost than they were before the game against Parma. So I sense an easy, calm, safe, both teams to score at European 170.
Okay. Both teams to score. We're looking at goals. I was edging towards a home win, Fiorentina, Alex, but we're going with both teams to score at the moment.
1000%. This is the my main bet also for this bet, both team to score for this match. Cagliari started very well against Atalanta. They had so many opportunities to score the opening goal, and after that they were red carded, and of course that Atalanta controlled the match, and they were very pragmatic. And again, you must love that about the team. But we are waiting for something else from Atalanta. So we will change our strategy a little bit about this Atalanta side, which I love, and I did myself a gift the other day. Papu Gomez t-shirt is on its way to my home. So Fiorentina, and we talked about Parma Fiorentina. Imagine that only in that game we saw 3 penalties. All the 3 goals were scored from penalties. Imagine. So maybe with this VAR thing, most of the time penalty yes in a match in almost all the leagues in Europe are around 3.2. So maybe you can do a strategy betting, if you like, the martingale option, doubling your money all the time on the bets, because we will have penalties. So that's just a thought of mine with martingale with penalties. But with this match, absolutely both teams to score at 1.73.
Okay, then we're going to go with both teams to score now. Genoa at plus 500, draw plus 330, and Napoli at plus 164. God bless Napoli. They got me, well, they got me back to where I wanted to be at the end of the weekend, Tan.
Look, normally I would say easy Napoli. Don't want to say easy to win, but Napoli that will just lead the game, closing everything, speculating a bit, scoring their goal, and doing the easy job in that way. But there is some different moment in the moment it comes this game that makes the thing different. First of all, Napoli probably will feel the fatigue of having played Sunday night against Roma in a quite level game. But at the same time, Genoa, in every game, are able to score and to concede, but still they only grabbed a couple of draws since Serie A was back. So they didn't move that much ahead of the relegation zone, only +2 over Lecce. And this means that they can still sit back and relax and say, okay, now we are a bit, we can even leave one round without stressing that much because we won't be underwater. They are still in that situation. Being in that situation will push them to go down and tickle the Napoli's defense. This will open space. Yeah, Napoli are still favorite, but considering especially the skills, negative and positive skills of Genoa, I will still go for both teams to score, which in this case is even higher than normal. It's a 190 in European odds, and in my opinion, it is extremely good because, again, with Genoa, goals are always coming in both ways.
Barca man saying, yeah, Napoli to win and both teams to score. That's it's 330, so I don't know if that's plus 230. Napoli in over 1.5. Alex, are you leaning towards Napoli get the job done and over 1.5?
I don't want to risk nothing with Napoli. I mean, yeah, they won 2-1 against Roma, but I think that Roma lost the game, then Napoli won the game. This is how I saw that match. And given the fact that Kalidou Koulibaly and Diego Demme will miss this match, I think that Genoa will have plenty of chances to score, and I don't know, maybe to pull off the upset and also win a point. But let's not even consider playing the winner's market. It's also a midweek round. We had so many rounds till now. Again, be careful about the fitness of the players. They are playing 2 matches per week till the end of the season. That's very important. You will see many squad rotation. It's very important to know the importance of the match for those teams. And yes, for both teams now, this match is important because Napoli are not safe there where they are. Many teams are aspiring at their spot, and Genoa are fighting relegation. And I think that
Alex,
for both
who's
teams,
chasing then? Who's chasing Napoli?
why? Who's chasing Napoli? Who's chasing Napoli? AC Milan.
Yeah, okay, and who's above Napoli?
Roma.
Okay, and who else?
Who else? It doesn't really matter who else, because they are far away. Atalanta, Inter, and Juventus are far away. So we might just think about Napoli playing in Europa League, but that's not over yet. Even Verona or even Bologna can catch them. 8 rounds to go. Let's not forget that. Plenty of stuff can happen till the end of the season. And Genoa are just 2 points above the danger area. So that is worse than Napoli's case. So I think that both need to score at 1.9 is the way to go.
I was just teeing you up because that's the first game that we've gone through since 2015. You've not mentioned Atalanta. Thanks for that. Because it doesn't matter. It could be in the Premier League. It could be like Chelsea versus Man City. And he'll say, yeah, well, Chelsea and Man City score goals just like Atalanta. So anyway, let's move on. Funnily enough, Atalanta, minus 257. The draw at plus 430. And Sampdoria at plus 750. Come to you first, Alex.
No way. Really? You're doing me this favor? It's the first time since we start filming with Tan that you're coming to me first. Okay, thank you very much for that. I will not complicate. Yes, Atalanta. Not only me talked about Atalanta. Remember also in the first match, Tan said when it was, I don't know, we discussed about Cagliari. He mentioned Atalanta, right? So again, I'm mentioning Atalanta, that they get smarter with every match that they are playing. I think that they could have scored at least 2-3 more goals if they were playing at their maximum capacity in the last game. I think that they can also, players from the bench always can make the difference in this Atalanta squad. And I'm not even going further than Atalanta halftime, full time at even money here.
Yeah, I like that. I also like maybe Atalanta minus 1.5.
No.
Maybe Atalanta's team total over 2.5. What do you think, Dan?
Oh.
Fair enough. Many times I have said my prediction, and it was the same and then Alex had to pick up. And it was the same. Well, this time is happening to me because I go too with Atalanta combo winning half time and full time, because Sampdoria, after winning against SPAL, just won't be the same as they could have been. It will just, well, first of all, normally Sampdoria is not exactly the same level of Atalanta. Then Gasperini, Atalanta manager, has rotated a lot against Cagliari. Gomez, Duvan Zapata, and Ilicic, they all came from the bench and the minute 60, something like that. He played also 60 minutes, being one man up. They really have managed the thing smoothly. Sampdoria winning this game, they are almost practically out from the danger of being relegated. Atalanta are playing this, approaching the great event of the weekend, that will be them playing against Juventus. So I think they're going to do a good training. So I go with the same. Atalanta to win half time and full time.
Yeah, I like this one though.
Let's not forget that Gasperini started with Tameze Adrian, that is on loan from Nice. The first game for this midfielder. Since he came as a loan from Nice, you know. Let's not forget that the squad rotation is heavy, and Gasperini, I don't want to say big names, but he's the master of coaching right now with Atalanta. He doesn't have one single star inside the team, and look what he's doing.
Alex,
and also he also added not only this Tameze, but also a Croatian, Šutalo, 20 years old,
Šutalo.
absolutely debuting in Serie A. So it was like playing this game away, he anyway won. Cagliari is not easy ground. And practically with two completely debutant, and still he managed.
Okay, the boys are also saying Atalanta to score in both halves at 1.86. I mean, do we expect Atalanta to score 3 goals? Because otherwise you just go Atalanta to win and over 2.5. Alex?
You don't know, or you don't know what to expect right now. They might score again and close the match, you know. Okay, they had many opportunities also in the second half, let's be honest, to score against Cagliari. Yes, absolutely. Only they were a little bit unlucky. Ilicic could have scored 2 or 3 goals on his own since coming from the bench, from the time that he came from the bench. So, yeah, goals in both halves for Atalanta sounds good to me.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, though, scoring both halves at like 1.86 or half-time, full-time at plus 100, which is 2.0. I'm probably going to prefer the half-time, full-time, to be honest. But again, there's many ways to skin a cat, and if they all come up, listen, it's just all form an orderly queue. Now, Bologna at plus 128, draw plus 260, and Sassuolo plus 220. Sassuolo, they just keep scoring goals.
Indeed. This is like a little derby. It's not important. It's not between the same city, two teams in the same city, or it's not even the main rivalry of Bologna. When we talk about the main rivalry of Bologna, is Fiorentina or Parma for what has been the last 2 decades. But still, they are close, and Sassuolo is challenging the supremacy in the region of Emilia-Romagna. Most of all, Bologna are never giving up. We saw against Juventus, even if they lost 2-0. We saw against Inter. And Sassuolo, as you mentioned, they scored even more than Atalanta since they came back, and it will be nothing different. At this point, they are bouncing in those positions. 9th, 10th. Milan is edging them now by 4 points and seems too far. But this means that a draw is not changing literally anything for them. That's why I go with a safe bet here. It's not a very huge odds, but still it's decent. 157 in European ones. And it's undecided if not both teams to score or over 2.5 goals. I would say over 2.5 goals, because with Sassuolo is always guaranteed.
Got to be an Alex Classic with Bologna involved as well, though, Alex.
Absolutely. The Alex Classic is the bet here. 1.85, both teams to score, and the over 2.5 goals in the match. Sassuolo, 14 goals in 4 matches since the start of the season. Since the restart of the season, I'm sorry. I think that they are brilliant going forward. Caputo, top level right now. I love him as an anytime goal scorer. If you ask me, in this match against Bologna, under Sinisa Mihailovic, a fighter, he defeated leukemia. He's such a fighter. He's such a great coach and such a great character. I saw many of his interviews, and I really like and enjoy the way he's talking. Bologna never put the weapons down against Inter when they were one goal down and 1 man down. So it was interesting about that Inter game, because Inter could have made it 2-0 and the match was played with that Lautaro Martinez penalty. So we can say that Inter were a bit unlucky there, or Lautaro Martinez should concentrate better, because that wasn't a way to take to hit a penalty. Anyway, both teams to score and the over 2.5 goals at 1.85.
Yeah, I like it. 1.85. I was already jumping on to the next game because, as you know, Tan obviously got the right colours on, but it's Roma at minus 194, draw plus 360, and Parma plus 600. I think I'm going to go with Parma again at double chance. Tan.
Wow. Look, situation is very dangerous for Roma in this moment. I mean, not only, basically they are not going to risk their Europa League position, not for now at least. What they could risk is to lose the right to entry directly the group stage of Europa League and have to play preliminary round. But it's not even about that. It's the fact that there are so much pressure on the club because of the takeover of new ownership that is never happening. So many debts that are mounting over the club, and results are not coming, and the defense is really being a shamble week in, week out. So normally I would say Roma to win, but Parma have been very unlucky, even with referee, against Fiorentina, against Verona. Sometimes suddenly the luck comes on your way. I don't know if this will be on their way, but that doesn't move me to believe strongly in Roma. So I would just say, considering again how shamble is the defense of Roma and the fact that Parma feel this sense of comeback, I will just say both teams to score. European odds are 170, and in my opinion, is even too much for what are the odds that this will happen in this game.
Alex, we see goals, both teams to score. Alex, classic, over 2.5 goals. Which way are you going?
Nothing. It's the only pass for me in this midweek round. And to be honest, I had a message with you from one of my followers yesterday after that Parma match against Fiorentina that we went with them. But I don't understand why they didn't have a message to me. They had a message to you. Said, tell Flash to stop with Parma, please.
Well, I'm going with Parma again, or I'm going for Parma to entertain. I think Parma score, so I might do the Alex Classic. But I mean, Parma plus 600. I mean, double chance will probably be around plus 220 or something mad like that. So I'm just a little bit down on Roma more than being up on Parma at the moment. Okay. I think I might have a little bit of resistance in this next game. It's Torino minus 125, draw plus 295, Brescia plus 375. Torino were not 4-1 worse than Juventus at the weekend. I know they got a lucky penalty, but they attacked really well, Tan.
For 15 minutes? For 15 minutes, yes. But I have to say, the first half, they didn't show up. Then someone rang the bell and said, hey, do you want to take a penalty? Oh, yeah, let's take a penalty. They remember they could play a game. Then after 15 minutes in second half, when Juventus remembered how to play and that it was still not time to go to the beach, then Torino disappeared again. Listen, it's a strange game because Torino, anyway, for what, if we talk on a football level, for what they produce on the pitch, is always very, very little. Always very little. They have Belotti that is scoring since, if I'm not mistaken, 4 consecutive games, 4 or 5, I don't remember, and is his maximum in his career. But many goals came from penalties. They always produce so little. Brescia found, I would say, exaltating win against Verona. It wasn't expected. It's reboosting their hopes to get back into the relegation fight because they were minus 9 from being saved. Now they are minus 6. It's still a lot, but it's still manageable, maybe. Imagine that for this reason, Mario Balotelli, that was supposed to be ousted from the club, yesterday night the green light to come back to train with the squad. This means maybe that Massimo Cellino, infamous Massimo Cellino, former Leeds president, maybe is feeling like, okay, maybe we still have hope for that. And so Brescia will fight for their life on Torino's ground. Now, Torino are in this unbalanced situation. If they win this game, they are definitely safe. They don't have to worry anymore, basically. If they lose, or anyway, if they don't win, they still will have to struggle. So, very tense. For this reason, I say over 2.5 goals, very high at 190 European odds.
So you're going over 2.5 goals?
Yep.
At 190. Alex, do you like this game?
Yeah, I will put half stake on a draw at 4.0, and I will enjoy it. I will enjoy the entire match. I was thinking Brescia plus 1.5, but the odds are very small for that at 1.5, so I will not touch it. But I see Brescia. I see them returning home with at least 1 point. I don't know. I have this feeling about this match. So yeah, draw at 4.0. Come on, let's take it with half stake.
Okay, well, I mean, I was looking at Torino thinking minus 125, don't complicate it. Then I was thinking both teams to score. And now you're saying the draw. I tell you what, I think there's lower hanging fruit. Anyway, SPAL plus 200, draw plus 240, and Udinese at plus 160. Alex.
Ooh.
Twice.
Yeah, yeah, twice. It was like the bells from earlier, from 10. Twice. The bells are not ringing twice, but they are on this show. What to say about this SPAL team? Last right now after Brescia won brilliantly won. Okay, they won, but Udinese, come on! I like them a lot lately. They are bringing me some money, at least in the last two matches, and I think that they should easily win this match. With draw no bet, I have them at 1.7. So even if they draw this match, I will have a push. It will be a void. They are the better squad between the two. SPAL, I think that are one of the relegated teams already, in my opinion. So yeah, I think that Udinese should return home with at least 1 point. Udinese draw no bet at 1.7.
Okay, Tan, you like Udinese to get something out of the game?
Look, something, yes. I don't know much. Thing is that if they would have not considered that very late goal against Genoa, that gave the draw to Genoa, their season would be over. Safe, clean, +9 over relegation. They considered goal, they are +7, but still they are in a different situation. The way SPAL crumbled against Sampdoria, and now they are bottom of the table, gives the idea of someone that is already relegated. But anyway, they will want to get out in style. They know they are almost dead, but at least they want to give a last wave. I don't know if it will be enough, but I would say that they will play at least the game. And Udinese possibly can give enough space to breathe into this game. So I say both teams to score. That again is very high odds considering what are the chances, the option lately, because it's at 180 European odds.
Okay, well, there's the last game of the day. Do we go back to the well again? They let us down at the weekend with a sloppy last 25 minutes. Verona plus 375, draw plus 288, and Inter at minus 125. Tan, do we trust Inter to get the job done? Because if we do, it's a banker.
Never trust Inter in any situation. Never trust Inter. But as I know that there are viewers that wants to take a risk, so we need to support who is daring. So if I have to say something about that, I would just simply say, look, I'm undecided if both teams to score or over. I would say over 2.5 goals.
Okay.
Because Verona are the typical giant killer. Verona has been able to win at home against Juventus, one of the very, very few games Juventus lost in the whole season. Verona are the typical giant killers. And Inter is the typical giant that is falling in this situation. We saw it. Anyway, they need to have a reaction after what happened against Bologna. I think that Antonio Conte kept his team in the locker room after the game for a full hour shouting in between the four walls, no social distancing, throwing bags towards the wall. So there must be a reaction from Inter, but at the same time, we know that Verona Verona lost hopelessly against Brescia, and it almost seemed they were waiting for the big game because they want to show off. So this is going to tell me it's going to be entertaining. So over 2.5 goals at 180.
Yeah, I mean, that seems the right way to go, Alex. But do you see that Inter score 2 goals? Because if you see Inter scoring 2 goals, forget everything else and just go with Inter team total over 1.5 at 1.86.
In that meeting, the 1 hour meeting in the dressing room that Tan mentioned, imagine that also the CEO of the team, Beppe Marotta, was present there with the team. So that says a lot. And we know that when Antonio Conte shouts, he can shout at the player. And we are not talking about players like, I don't know,
Lukaku.
second row of players. We are talking about huge players. We are talking about names, you know. I think that they will have to bounce back in style after what happened, you know? I mean, as we talked earlier, they were pretty unlucky with that missed penalty with Lautaro Martinez. I think that at 2-0, it was Inter win 1,000%.
Yeah.
No doubt about that. But and how the match was playing, because we saw a game idea, we saw a game plan, we saw good transition of the ball, we saw a lot of action from Inter, but it clicked, that thing with the red card and the penalty missed. Something happened. The players will bounce back, I'm telling you that. I'm not making it as my banker because you cannot never trust Inter, but at 1.9 I have to go with Inter to win this game.
So minus 110 Inter, I'm thinking team total, they scored 2, even if they let in 2. Okay, listen, Alex, I need you to run down your bets. Tan, you have a little think about it. But remember, I need 2 bankers to put forward for the European 6-match parlay. So fire away, please, Alex.
Lecce, Lazio, both teams to score at 1.73. Juventus at 2.2. But also, as AC Milan versus Juventus over 2.5 goals at 2.0. Fiorentina, Cagliari, both teams to score at 1.73. Genoa, Napoli, the same, both teams to score at 1.87. Atalanta, Sampdoria, Atalanta halftime, full-time at 2.0. Bologna, Sassuolo, the Alex Classic at 1.85. Torino, Brescia, half stake on the draw at 4.0. Udinese with draw no bet at 1.7. Inter at 1.9, and take Inter for the first one of the 2 on that 6-match parlay for the midweek.
No, because you were saying that Inter, you have put enough doubt in my mind that I am not putting Inter in there because I've got 2 lovely ones. Now, only Tan's going to interrupt them 2 that you've given me. And I will, I mean, let me just confirm that Bologna and Sassuolo, the Alex Classic at 1.85, is that correct?
Yes.
Well, that's going in. And the other one is Udinese, draw no bet at 1.7 at the moment. Tan, can you do anything with it?
Okay, I'll first tell you my 2 banker. Thing is that are the same, one is the same game, because what the first banker would be over 2.5 goals in Bologna Sassuolo at 1.57. But you tell me if you want something else, if it's not enough. And the other one is both teams to score in Fiorentina Cagliari at 1.70. Those 2 are the bankers. And then fast recap of all the others. Lecce Lazio, Lazio to win half-time, full-time. Milan Juventus draw at the half-time. Genoa Napoli, both teams to score. Atalanta Sampdoria, same as Alex, Atalanta to win half-time, full-time. Roma Parma, both teams to score. Torino Brescia, over 2.5 goals. SPAL Udinese, both teams to score. Verona Inter, if you really dare, over 2.5 goals.
Yeah, there's so much content on this show. I tell you what, I've not seen so many of team totals. The boys in the chat have thrown things in. We're going over, we're going Alex Classics, we're going all sorts, half-time, full-time, win both halves. Listen, you've got to watch this video back. I'm going to watch it back just to see what everything's been said and what I've said, and just so I can hear Alex say Atalanta 58 times. Now, yeah...
Be careful of your back, Flash. Be careful of that back, please.
Yeah, I'm going to have a swim
man,
this
you
afternoon
have to be
again.
careful about it.
I'm going to have a swim again just to try and ease it off. But I'll just let you know that the 2 that I'm... What's this? Advertising?
Atalanta.
Oh, you're in it. Oh, you're in it again. You're in it as well, are you? Okay. Bologna at Sassuolo. Alex Classic, 1.85. That's going in the six-match parlay. And Udinese, draw no bet away at SPAL at 1.7. So obviously, if you watch the La Liga video prior to this, you'll get the other two legs. And the final two legs, the final key, will be in the Premier League punters. So enjoy. Listen, if you have enjoyed this video, then please subscribe, press the button and ring the bell. You ring the bell, then that means that we can notify you and you'll never miss any content again. 125 watching, we appreciate you so much. I love the fact that you're so knowledgeable and you give out all the tips. It's been a great few weeks. Let's hope that this one is going to be a massive one as well. And if you press the link in the description, you can go over and see Alex, Dave or Martin's articles on all of our soccer pages. There's other sports over there as well. And remember, if you're not getting the right value, you're behind before the start of the game. So get over to sportsbookreview.com, go through all of them books and see and make sure you're on the right side prior to the ball kicking off. Thanks, Tan. Thanks, Alex. And we'll see you again at the end of the week. Cheers, boys. They're your two soldiers. And they are firing proper guns. See you soon. You take care.